Nobody move.
Nobody gets hurt.
I'm Nick G.
I'm Mike D.
And this is Good Cop, Bad Cop. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Pop McCann Whiskey, smoothest drink in the land. Grab your bottle today at popsmccannwhiskey.com. Also like to thank Friends of Martina White. Visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina has been doing as state representative of Pennsylvania. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond Creative. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com or call 267-362-WEB1 to discuss your project. And our title sponsor, AR Law, arjusticenow.com. We fight so you don't have to. Adams Renzi Law. All right, welcome back, Mike. As usual, we have another great show lined up today.
That's amazing. You keep coming up with these guests.
Right.
You're really hitting it. I'm really impressed.
We have a
Thank
former...
God for him, because we'd have just me talking shit all day. Go ahead.
Yeah, God. It's not about you, Mike.
No, I know.
It's
not easy. Believe me. Go ahead.
We have former Vineland Police Department police officer Felix Martinez. Felix was involved.
Hold on. Where is Vineland?
Vineland. If you're going towards the shore, towards Wildwood, you're past Vineland. So you're between Atlantic City,
New Jersey,
between Atlantic City and Philadelphia.
Okay, so now we're getting a picture here.
Everybody hates New Jersey. It's in New Jersey.
Well, you know what they hate about
state.
Jersey? It's these highways. When you come in from New York, you can't figure it out.
Yeah, and you can't make a left.
It's not. You gotta make over. They got these hubs. They got a hub you go into now, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
Knuckles. What do they call them? Knuckles or something?
What? The hell
when you go to make a turn, you go into these. You go.
Oh, a roundabout?
Yeah, but it's not a roundabout. It's because a roundabout, you just keep going.
You're a knucklehead. I've never heard someone called a knuckle before.
You ever see what a knuckle looks like?
Jesus.
Listen, this is New York. We make words up as we go, and people understand everything we say.
What are you drinking in
between?
All right, so Felix, he has a very interesting story and an interesting life. He helped take down some dirty cops in his police department.
Okay,
I think we're going to share that story today.
So are we friends or foe here? What's going on?
Oh, he definitely took your ass down. We know that. Wow. Felix has a moral compass, unlike you.
Well, let's see how his moral compass is. Let's figure that out.
Oh, shit.
So Felix, you're on the job in Vineland. How long were you on the job?
15 years.
15 years. And so did you start out in Vineland?
Yes, I started out in Vineland. Yep.
And that's what county is that?
That's Cumberland County in New Jersey.
Okay, so Cumberland County. Okay, Cumberland County, New Jersey. You're a Vineland police officer. You went to the academy what year?
1990.
1990. Okay, so I'm not even pinched yet. So, and how old are you when you get in the academy?
I was 20. 20 years old.
So,
oh, damn, another baby. Yeah.
Another child does not just so you know, you did not belong in the police department at 20 years old.
I couldn't even go drinking. I couldn't even go drinking.
I'm just telling you. I don't know why they do that to us. They allow us. And listen, I was 21.
Same here, 20.
I had just gotten arrested, and I beat the arrest so that I could take the job. They canceled it so I could take the job. Okay, that's how it started. All right, and I was 21 years old in a couple days. So you're 20 years old. You go to the academy. You come out, you got your brand new shiny shit, your leather's all shiny, you got your brand new badge, no medals on you, nothing. You walk out, you get a job, you get a patrol, you beat car or you get a car? Beat or car?
We start off as a beat, first year.
So you're working a beat. Correct. So there's downtown Vineyard? There's downtown Vineland?
Yeah.
Is there a beat in downtown Vineland?
Actually, Landis Avenue. It's a 2-lane highway. It's one of the biggest.
It's one street? It's one street. I'm sure it's one street.
It's one street. Yeah, it's called Landis Avenue.
Okay. So, okay, and it's near the base. Is it near there's a military base down there that's been dissanctioned, or what do you call that? They've been taken offline down there.
You know what? I can't. When you mentioned that, I'm like, man.
There's a big military. It's 1,200 acres right off of the highway, and there's some old military buildings in there. I know it because we're doing a project there right now as we speak in Vineland, New Jersey.
Vineland, New Jersey.
Yeah. So let's go on. Forget the job, not your job. The thing I'm talking about. Let's go into your career now. You take the job. You love being a police officer. Yes or no?
Correct. Yeah, like we all do. We take the job. We're excited. You know, we got the badge. We're able to carry a gun. Okay. You know, you feel like Superman.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
God, I feel like God. You feel like God. You're 20 years old. They've given you a gun. You have more power. This is what they tell us. You have more power than the president of the United States. You can take someone's life.
Yep. It's true.
Who the hell told you that?
That's what they tell you in the police.
That's
what they tell you.
One of the hardest things coming out of the academy. Maybe you can relate to this is learning how to use that power too. You know, taking someone's freedom is a very large, very heavy responsibility. And you know, when you first come out, you really don't know what you can do. I remember one of the first jobs I had was clearing a speakeasy, and I had this guy in my face, and you know, just a man in me wanted to hit him. But, you know, me being a new cop, I wasn't sure what the hell I could do. Can I lock him up? You know, if I do it, am I going to start a riot? Am I going to get in trouble? You know, like you don't know how to use your powers. And obviously, you know, you get some good teachers or some bad teachers can lead you astray. Is that something that you can relate to?
You probably got a membership afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Speakeasy.
That came later in my career.
They would have been still open.
I was a new cop.
Okay?
He was our top member. Of course. I mean, you know, when you go to these places, I mean, when you first start off, you know, you're locking people up and you're putting them away for a long time. You know, sometimes it gets to you. You know what I mean? Some people are assholes. Some people aren't. You know,
Well,
and I feel like everyone goes through their shit. You know what I mean? But they're still humans, right?
So the reason we're having this meeting here today is because you've had an experience basically opposite of mine. Right? So lead us down the rosy path as to what happens that this begins to be what you do. And I'm not going to say what you do. So go ahead. So you lead.
So the first year, I would say the first year, you know, you start becoming friends with your fellow police officers. And there was one guy. One guy. He's a Puerto Rican officer. He approaches me, and he was you know, people talk. So my fellow police officers, hey Gilbert, you know, oh, man, he's always in Atlantic City. He's always gambling, you know. But Gilbert was a good to me. I mean, I thought he was a great guy, you know. And that turned.
So this is the guy who approached you. Gilbert approached.
Yeah, Gilbert. Okay. And it's public. His name's Gilbert Lopez. And he approaches me, and we start becoming friends. And within time, he's telling me, hey, you want to make some extra money? You know, I'm like, make extra money? He says, yeah, you know, I have connections, and, you know, I make some runs here and there, and I make some extra money. I'm like, what? You know, I'm new. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? You know? And I'm thinking, oh, shit, they're working me, you know? It's like, what the fuck do I do? So what I did, I ended up going right to the chief at that point. You know.
So you're friends with Gilbert. How close are you? You guys are drinking together.
You know, he would go to the gym. He was on my shift, so we worked 5 days a week. Weekends we go to the gym. So you know, we were becoming close. You know.
You partners, same car?
No,
just
the same shift. So he was my. We drove alone. So
same squad,
so we would see each other on the shifts. You know, before and after, and go to the gym on the weekends. And
you ran into each other going into work and then at the end of work when you signed out or whatever. But during the shift, did you guys interact on jobs together?
Correct. You know.
Did you back each other up?
Yes.
You know, so if you had to make an arrest, he showed up. If there was a struggle, if a guy got to get a little tuned up, you work together.
And
so you threw down together. Sometimes there was an extra little jab at the end here and there. You know, we've all and you had his back and he had your back.
Correct.
Okay.
He had tenure.
It's important to set the stage. They just didn't know each other. You guys handled jobs together.
And he had 10 years on when I first started. So I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him like, oh man,
he's the hero.
You know, he's the man. You know, he's been on.
He's the man.
Everybody knows him. Everybody likes him on the streets. And so when he came, when he approaches me with that,
he knows the street. He's making your job safer and better.
Right. He knows it exactly. You're right. He knew the streets. Yeah, I didn't know the streets. You know. So when he approaches me, you know, I'm like in shock, like, oh, making runs. And so I went to the chief and
hold on. Making runs. What does our audience know about runs? I know what a run is. Do you? You don't know what a run is. You've never been on one.
Yeah, so get into what
So,
exactly
so
is he explaining it to you? Like, what's he saying to you?
to me, I took it as he's making runs for a drug dealer. You know, yeah,
Right.
he's getting drugs, he's taking it somewhere, and he's making money in between that. So
You specifically knew that that's what he meant. He might not have used that term
right,
initially, correct?
correct,
Listen, do you want to make some runs
right,
with me?
exactly.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking that is because I can make a run with you tonight and go somewhere, but we're not making a move. But you knew it was about drugs or drug money,
Exactly. The way
correct?
it came through, yes, I knew it wasn't good. I know that, you know.
Yeah, what year is
This
this?
is 1991.
Okay.
Just before I get pinched.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I tell the chief, who was Mario Brunetta, and he listens and he says, "Hey, I got to call the FBI," and that's when it all started. 3-year investigation.
Holy
3-year
shit.
investigation. Um, me getting wired up, um, and eventually
Oh,
taking him down, but it was rough. It was
So,
rough because, like I said, he was. I felt he was my friend then, you know. And I'm like, even when I was getting wired up in the beginning, I felt a little bad, you know. Because
yeah, I only
listen,
imagine.
you did the
yeah,
right
yeah.
thing.
So there was
You know, it's so
one point where I said, "Fuck it," and it was. I went to his house, and his daughter, she must have been like 12 years old. She was doing her homework on the kitchen table, and I
Okay.
walk in, and he looks at her, and he goes, "What the fuck did I tell you about working on the kitchen table? You know, my friends come here. Go in your room. Go in your fucking room." I was like, that was it. That turned me off. I was like, she was only doing her homework. You know, why are you talking to her like that? You know. And after that, I
right.
was like, fuck him. You know.
So, first time you're getting wired up, what's going through your mind? What's that
Oh
whole
shit.
situation?
Well, that situation was odd. So I meet them at the hotel, and the first, you know, I walk in, and there were about 3 FBI agents in there, and you know they're asking me, you know, why, you know, they asked me, are you doing it? You know, I'm like, no, and they said, all right, here's a
See,
cup,
you
here's
see
a
these
cup,
fucking feds?
I
You
know.
see these fucking
right.
feds? Did you want to turn around right then and stop?
I was like, what the fuck? I felt like the accused, yeah, a little bit. They had a cup,
Yeah,
they had a
yeah.
cup,
The feds are
You
dirty, man.
mother.
they had a cup and said, hey, would you mind peeing in this? I was like, I'll do it. So I started taking it, and they're like, yeah, you don't need to. I guess they were testing my character. They were,
Seriously.
You were fucking
yep, they
testing
were
you.
testing
Yeah.
my character. And after that, I got wired up for the first time. And they used back then. They had them where they would put it in my crotch, and they would normally
All right, I'm sure you
run
loved
the
it.
wires up to here, or
Right,
below your belt, which was harder for them to hear.
right,
And I remember the first time
right.
was below my belt because it was I was new to it, you know. But then I would go.
Now you're wired up, and then they're asking you to do what? I mean, I basically know what they're going to say, but I
Yeah,
want to hear you say. They're asking you to
yeah.
just record every activity with him, or are they asking you to help to guide him in a direction? Go
They're
ahead.
asking me to build a case against them. So I'm meeting with him, trying to get the information, what he's doing, where he goes, who he deals with, um, you know. And during that period, I was shocked because my uncle's name comes out that he was involved in
Whoa.
this whole drug dealing. So at that point, I'm a police officer. My uncle, he knows, I'm a police officer. And he knows I've always wanted to be a police officer. At that point, my dad was a police officer in Connecticut. And I'm like in total shock, like, what the hell's going on here? And I start getting wired up, and my uncle says, hey, I heard you're dealing with Gilbert, And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing my thing, And we start, I start getting wired talking to my uncle. And,
So rather than try to talk you out of it being family, he welcomes you into the life.
correct. Yep,
Mm.
correct.
How does that make you
That
feel?
was tough. That was tough. I mean, I feel like you take the oath, to be a police officer. I mean, you got to do the right thing, and he knew
Yeah.
he knew. I worked hard. It's not easy going to a police academy. It's not easy. Walking.
It's not easy doing the
Right.
right thing
Exactly.
either.
Exactly. It could be that one moment. I always say that one moment where you're down and out, and if you're not strong, end up on the other side of the law. So I started getting wired up with and my uncle was involved. Obviously, I would go to his house, and there was one time I'll never forget. He had this big barn in the back, and I'm wired up, and he says, "Hey, I got some stuff in the back, and he pulls out big bag of cocaine. And he says, "Man, you should taste this," And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, "Well, I'm a fucking cop. I can't." So he pulls it out, and
Right.
Is he testing you, you
yeah,
think?
I had to taste it. I tell you, my tongue was numb for fucking hours, And, and
Good shit.
yeah,
Good shit.
some good shit. It was actually when back in the then when they tested it, it was like 92% pure at that point when they tested
Yeah,
that.
I can
Yeah, that
imagine.
is good stuff.
I can imagine. They were coming in from the DR with them.
Yeah.
A lot of it smelled like diesel
Yeah.
fuel and
Exactly.
gasoline.
That's how they make you break down
Yeah,
the
but-
coke
So,
leaf.
so the first time, I'm there and he's test this, and I'm taking it now. I'm taking it because for evidence. Hey, I got. So when I was getting wired up, we tried to build a case, and they were like, tell them, we need a quarter ounce or we need whatever amount we needed, and whatever it was,
Right.
I can't remember. He says, put it down your pants. Now I have the tape. I have the tape and thing down there. So he starts lifting my shirt up. I'm like, the fuck? Don't touch. I'm like,
Oh.
don't touch me, you jerk off. Don't be gay. You're trying to play it off,
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
looking at his face to see if he saw anything. And it's like,
Right.
luckily he didn't see it.
Like to thank our sponsors today, Martina White. Friends of Martina White can visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina's been doing as a state representative in Pennsylvania. And let me tell you, Mike, she's a big supporter of police. She backs the blue. She's a proven fighter for families, women, everybody.
Is she a patriot? Is she America first?
Absolutely. She encompasses, the American spirit for sure. We have a big population of listeners in Northeast Philadelphia, Southeast Pennsylvania, which would be her area. So you can check her out.
Has
Vote
she
Martina.
been in? I'm not familiar with the Philly district. Is she new to the scene, or is she looking for re-election?
She'll be up for re-election in a couple years, but she's been around for a while. She has a proven track record.
Okay.
You can check her out. Her record really speaks for itself, especially when it comes to fighting for everyday citizens and backing the blue.
It's nice to have someone back in the blue. I mean, the officers are out there risking their lives every day, and with little pay and little appreciation in today's environment, it's been very difficult. And as you know, being a Philadelphia guy,
Unfortunately, that's something that's not common. Should be. It used to be a time where both sides of the aisle agreed on law enforcement, and that's something that's completely lacking. But with Martina White, she steps up to the plate, always has our backs, and does what's right.
great. Good luck with Martina.
Yeah, you can get more information at votemartina.com. I'd like to thank our title sponsor of the show, Adams Renzi Law, AR Law. They can be found at arjusticenow.com. And just to let you know, I know both of them personally. Christy, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, total sweetheart, absolute pit bull in the courtroom. And Nick Renzi, he's a South Philadelphia guy, true and true, neighborhood man. He's for the people. He helps people out down in South Philly, all around Philadelphia.
Their office is in South Philly itself.
Yes, their office is in right around South Philly, Center City, right on the
Do
border.
they handle
there.
a lot of criminal cases?
They handle everything, absolutely.
Are they on call 24/7 for someone who
always-
might take a pinch somewhere?
Why, you might be taking
Well,
a pinch that we know about?
you never know. I mean, wherever you show up, you got to be ready.
Well, you can keep their card on you.
Well,
Or
there
go
you
to
go.
their
Well,
website and
good,
call
good.
them up.
Will they give me a deal since they're sponsors of the show?
You might get a percentage off. I'll have to talk to her.
Okay. Yeah.
If you used them a few years ago, you might have not have gotten 14 years.
Well, that's another story.
Another story for another time.
That's right.
Again, AR Law, check them out. arjusticenow.com. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond.o. In today's world, your business is practically invisible if you're not online. With so many options for marketing your business, it's easy to get confused. That's where Beyond Creative steps in. They have the expertise to help you with all of your marketing needs. Need a website that wows visitors? They'll build it. Want to reach more customers with Google Ads? They'll make it happen. They'll even manage your social media so you can focus on what you do best. Beyond Creative is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and Google Premier Partner. They're the real deal. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com. That's BIONDOCREATIVE.com or call 267-362-WEB1, Web 1 to discuss your project now. This is dangerous games you're playing. You know, it's scary. So, what do you think? How are you feeling about
So
this?
I'm gonna be a little combative because I want to ask you some questions, and then they're gonna be hard pressed. So, are you sitting there saying to yourself, "I'm taking down my family"? How do I respond as a family member opposed to a member of the police department and society and whole, right? So the reason I asked that question is because I've wrestled with that. Because my partner, who took me down, sort of with the wire and the whole bit, I always said to myself later on, why didn't he just write a little note? Listen, shut your fucking mouth. Change the subject. Something. Why didn't he do that where where he could like maybe leave it in the mailbox so that I wouldn't react while the wire is still going. Like, Mike, they're asking me to do something to you, and don't talk around me anymore about these things. If you do, talk about the weather and the sunshine and the bees and the honey. Because during the process when he sold his soul back to the feds. By the way, he was already arrested. Okay, so you're not talking about you. You're a police officer. My guy was arrested and charged with racketeering, or not quite yet, but whatever the
different circumstances.
Stages were. But he puts the wire on after he's done what I did. In fact, he's even done more because he calls me up because he's out of cocaine. And when he calls me up because he needs it, I know how to get it. I'm a cop. I know how to get anything. So I get it for him. And now I become the leader of his conspiracy. I don't even know these people, never supplied him or them before. And when he calls me up, he doesn't know that they got him already. They already got him in the loop. He don't know it. Now he drags me in. But after the arrest goes down, when he gets out on bail, he puts the wire on. So now he's already done the things that you haven't done, that you decided not to do. So here I am sitting in my jail cell. I walked in facing life. As you know, most people, when you walk into the feds, you pretty much have 10 to life you're facing. And you know that this is what's going on with your family now. You know, potentially you're giving them a 10 to life sentence, whoever they are, right? You got to stomach this. Now, you're a police officer. You're sworn to uphold the law, and that's what you're doing. But part of you is still a family member and a human being. You see the man, his 12-year-old daughter. All right. You didn't like the way he spoke to his daughter. To me, you don't take it the wrong way. You're using a little justification why you're fucking your friend, okay? But we all have to. We all have to come to terms with why are we doing this. I'm not doing it any longer because I'm a police officer, because you know what? We've all slipped and slid along the way. But see the way he treats that daughter? I don't like that. And because that's really who he is. The way he just treated his daughter is not... I'm no longer looking at him as a good human being, because before that, you loved him. You did things with him. You had a good time. You partied a little bit. You went out. You drank. You banged chicks together. Whatever. You did some nice, fun stuff with this guy. You went to Atlantic City, and now you're about to hurt him, and you're using.
You don't need to justify immoral and corrupt behavior.
He did need to do it. He said he did. He said, Felix. You said, I don't like the way he treated his daughter, so fuck him. Did you not say that before?
Well, that's his own justification. But it's still, corrupt behavior, and he's an honest guy.
No. Yes. No. I listen, this is all, he's done nothing wrong, but it's a hard fight. That's what I'm getting at. It's a hard fight to justify. Do I continue to do the right thing? I'm really feeling bad. Right or wrong?
You're right. You're right. I mean, the whole time you're thinking this, man, because it's going to go down.
You're feeling bad.
Yeah. I mean, no matter, like I said, no matter
it's
what.
hard to continue to do that.
Not only that, he's your friend, and you know what's going to go down. And the same thing with my uncle. I mean, the whole time I'm thinking I was fucked for a while. I was I started living.
Sure.
I started living the role. I was always looking outside. Am I going to be taken down? What's going on here?
Yeah.
You start living that life, man. You start living that life, and it's crazy. The only good thing is I know the outcome, and the outcome was that my uncle didn't get time. We ended up turning him to work.
Okay. So he was able to see. There's a lot of shit that went through your head during this time. He still wrestles with it today. I know you do.
Yeah,
I know you
of course.
do because my partner called me up a week ago. The guy that put the wire on me called me up a week ago.
And
did he ask for cocaine?
No, he didn't ask for cocaine.
You sure? Hopefully you are enough to go get him some this time.
Hey, Mike, and what'd you do? Did you talk to him?
Absolutely. Yeah. I spoke to him. Yeah. We have had so when they did the 7-5, right? The documentary, the 7-5, we came together for it. And that was on my doing because I could have said yes or no. But I had dealt so you know, just so you know, so you understand and so you can hear this. After 5 years in prison, I let go.
It took 5 years?
It took 5 years. I finally let go of the anger and resentment I was holding against him. There's a couple things transpired, but the bottom line was it was hurting me. And I couldn't continue to live with that resentment against the person that hurt me because I had to realize that I hurt me. He didn't hurt me. I hurt me. My own actions, I'm responsible for.
That's some deep shit, Mike. I'm impressed that you're able to go there.
I hurt me. Fuck you. I hurt me. It was my actions that did it. He didn't have to help it along. But still, it's what I did that I was paying for. And one way or another, we all pay. And so I'm very happy to have paid because now I get to talk about it. Because there's a lot of cops, not you, maybe you to some degree, who can't talk about some of the things that they did.
That's correct.
Because they didn't pay for them.
That's correct. Don't be looking at me. I'm good, man.
Oh, you're the good guy.
That's right.
I thought I was the good guy. Because I paid.
I put my head on my pillow
Felix, when your uncle paid his debt to society, are you guys back together?
Yes.
Yeah, here's the difference between Felix and your guy. This is the difference between your guy, Kenny's a rat.
Correct.
Right? He got caught. And he knew the game.
Then he ratted.
Yes, he knew the game. He was in it. He knew the rules. He ratted your ass out. He's a cop.
He's a cop. No, that's why I'm
straight moral compass. He did the right thing.
He did the right thing.
Not a rat.
No, 100%. Yeah. That's why I'm saying it wasn't easy though, because it's not always easy to do the morally right thing. Human beings use justifications in order to continue just to do the right thing. I don't like the way he treated his daughter. He's my uncle. My uncle's being bad, right? But meanwhile, you got to sit there at Christmas dinner.
Awkward.
Yeah, it's tough. But my situation gets worse. I mean, so I have my uncle who is working for this.
How's it
then
worse?
My dad is in Connecticut. He's involved with dealing with the same dealer that these guys are dealing with. Back then his name was Frenchie. He was out of New York. I never forget this. They would talk to him and they would order their Coke by tires. So it would be, hey, I need one tire. That would be a quarter ounce.
4 tires.
Right, exactly. It would be
Okay.
one tire would be a quarter ounce, And his name was Frenchie. And my dad, they were working a case against my dad. The FBI was in Connecticut. So talk about how do I, what do I do? I'm in between, I'm the
hell of a moral compass.
Right. It's like what do I do? And they ended up taking my dad down. They got him with the Kingpin statue. He did 10 years. I didn't talk to my dad.
Jesus, can you imagine Thanksgiving dinner at his house?
I didn't talk to my dad for 10 years, and that's a regret. He passed away. He was a Vietnam vet, and he passed away from Agent Orange. He got cancer. But them 10 years, if I can have him back, I mean, either or, yeah, he was on the other side of the law, but he was still my father. You know what I mean? So that's something that eats me.
That's a moral difficulty.
That's something that eats me up.
Yeah,
Eats me up.
I can only imagine what my brothers. I have 5 brothers. All right, 2 firemen and two cops in my family. and myself. So there was 5 of us.
One of your brothers was in the office investigating
My
you.
brother was in the office opposite, well, in the same office that was investigating me. My brother worked for the feds. And you know how they have cubicles? You've been in the feds office, the cubicles,
Yeah.
Dad? The cubicles?
Yeah.
One side's one team, the other side is another team. Well, this side of the cubicle was my brother, and this side was my case. And this prosecutor never spoke to my brother one time until the day I got arrested. He said hello to my brother in the elevator on the way up.
What an ass.
He never spoke to him for a year and a
What
half.
an asshole.
Well, because they were looking at my brother to see that to make sure my brother wasn't involved, and he wasn't, thankfully, but you're a cop. You're a cop. You know something's not right.
Yeah.
You make the same money as Perez, right? His name was Perez, you said? Gilberto Perez?
Lopez.
I'm sorry. Similar.
Yeah.
Jesus, we're getting canceled.
Same thing. I'm teasing. You notice what equals, it doesn't matter. It's kind of easy at the end. They got a little Arab in them, right?
Listen, I
easy
married a
means
Puerto
Arab,
Rican.
right?
It's all right. We won't get canceled.
You married a Puerto Rican, I did.
My daughter's biracial.
There you go.
Bilingual or biracial?
Both.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So this is a very telling story. In fact, it's another one of these amazing stories. Really, this is incredible. And I, once again, I feel humbled by we just had a kid that was shot. He's a hero, and you know what? I have to say this, and it's against my better judgment, but you're a hero. I have to say it. You're a hero because you did the right thing. And
dude, it's unbelievable.
Look at there's still scarring. There's still you see
even though it fucked me, I guess I'm a hero. To this day,
unbelievable what you did.
I think about it, and that's something I would change in my life. Not that I would just give them their information and be done with it, because it was a lot. It was a lot.
Right, because you took a major risk by doing what you did for these people. And what kind of thanks? Can you tell me the kind of thanks they gave you? Can you tell me the kind of thanks that they gave you?
I'll tell you. You're gonna say, "What the fuck?" All right, so we're prepping for the court case. So his defense was that he was working me, and and that went to shit real quick. But I never forget the first day I went there to meet with the attorney general. He goes, we got to prep. You're going to be on the stand. Did you ever mess around with drugs? Did you ever smoke weed when you were small? I was like, I smoked when I was younger. He pulls out my job application. And guess what? No one puts that.
You lied.
Of course. Who puts, I never experimented.
Not me.
I did.
I never experimented with drugs.
Ever.
Well, now I had to go. No. I had to leave Camden, right, the federal building, and drive all the way to Vineland, and I'm to tell my chief that I lied on my application. So I'm thinking, I worked this case, and I go.
Shit.
Now I'm gonna lose my fucking job. So I'm sweating. I never forget. I'm walking in the police department. I'm sweating my ass off, and I'm going. I knock on the door. He says, "Come in." And I'm thinking they probably called the chief because he told me to come in, and he locks the door. He says, "What's wrong?" I said, "Be honest with you, I lied." He said, I lied on my job application. He goes, "You put that you never did drugs, right?" I said, "Yes." He says, "You're fine. Get out of my fucking office." And I leave, and that was it. So luckily the chief was okay. But if he was an asshole and he didn't like me, I probably would have been without a job. I did all that. In
my hiring process, they asked me if you've ever done anything illegal. I'm 19, so I'm thinking, I smoked weed a couple times. They said, okay, put that down. And there anything else? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not proud of it, but I've been drinking since I've been 13. That's what you do in high school. So I'm counting up how many times, weekends, 4 years, this and that.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, I guess I drank 800 times. And the guy's like, oh my God, just put down a 20.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, am I an alcoholic?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
I mean, it's just a couple beers on the weekend.
Yes, 13.
What you do when you're 13.
13, they carried me home, motherfucker, okay?
Exactly.
So, all right. I mean, we could really dive into that. We don't have that much time. That's a hell of a story, Felix. You're an amazing person.
Buddy.
Not many people would
Yeah.
have the moral compass. I do. I respect the hell out
Yeah,
of you.
yeah.
You're a great guy.
Yeah, I have to say the
Thanks,
same thing,
Mike.
Felix.
Thanks,
Yeah, it's
Mike.
really
It's not
unbelievable.
easy to do what you
Hey,
did,
no.
and part of me doesn't like it, but on the other side, I respect
Thanks,
it
Mike.
because you did the right thing when I turned it from doing the right thing.
Yep.
And look what it did to me, right?
But look at you
Look
now.
what it did to me.
But look at you now, Mike.
14
Yeah.
years in federal prison. But because we are resilient people, most of us are, we make a life for ourselves.
Yeah, you think 14 years in prison, his lifelong dream. He's sitting at the Nick Gerace now on a podcast.
Oh man,
I mean, look at where he's at.
Who could ask for this?
Ultimate
Who
dream.
could ask for
Mike,
more?
I felt the same.
So-
I felt the same way when I was near Nick. I was like, man, I'm near my hero. You know?
You can't even, yeah.
Full disclosure, we worked together for a couple
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I love the guy.
On patrol?
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's private
Yeah,
security.
he's a good guy.
Okay, yeah.
Hey,
He is actually a good, and he's very tech savvy.
Yeah.
He's very tech savvy, which I appreciate.
Dude,
Compared to
he's,
me.
he's a boomer. I'm not tech savvy at all.
Compared to me.
So let's get. We have some time left. I want to touch on Kimbo
Oh.
Slice and
Yeah,
your
go ahead.
Oh,
Go, yes.
Your-
Dana White, the whole bit.
post-police
Oh,
career.
shoot.
So what happened
So
afterwards?
So after police work, I worked for the prosecutor's office for 2 years, and I met my lovely wife who lives in Bucks County, and I moved to Bucks County. So you can't work, the law. You can't work in Jersey if you live in a different state. That bullshit. So I ended up leaving police work, and we started a company called Cage Fury Fighting Championships. They're still around. They're one of the top regional shows here in the Northeast, and it's called CFFC. And we signed Kimbo Slice to his first MMA fight. He fought Ray.
So you found Kimbo
God,
Slice.
that's right. His first MMA fight.
That's awesome.
MMA fight was with Cage Fury Fighting Championships. And I tell you, he is the nicest guy. I always said to him, I said,
Yeah.
don't talk to people the way you talk to me. Continue with your persona, And his actually, we're going to try to get Icy on the show here. Icy Mike, his manager, also a great guy, good friend of mine, and he's
I see Mike.
he owns the
Is
he
he-
owns the biggest porn.
Can I get some tires from
In
him?
What is he?
he
on?
owns the biggest.
What is
He
on, you
owns the
said?
biggest porn site in the U.S. here. It's called In the VIP. In the VIP. Hey, Nick.
In the
Hey,
VIP.
Nick.
Never watched it.
Nick can tell you more information about it. He has it.
Never watched
Are we
it.
plugging the VIP yet? Because we got good money for our sponsorships.
Yeah, we did well. That fight with Kimbo with Ray Mercer. It was fun. It was fun.
Who won that fight?
Kimbo Slice choked him out. He wouldn't stand. He was smart. He wouldn't stand with. Would you stand up with a guy Golden Glove?
I'll fight Kimbo Slice
Ray
right now.
Mercer.
Set it up.
Hey,
Set up. I'll take Kimbo Slice on right now.
you
Set
can't.
it up.
You can't. He passed away.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Look.
about?
Good luck. Good
He
luck.
passed away. I
Good
did not
luck.
know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Rest in peace, Kimbo. I would have fought him.
R.I.P. Yeah. See, he's ready.
He's ready. He wants to fight.
I would have took his big ass.
He wants to fight Kimbo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So.
Funny. So yeah. So are you still involved with that?
No,
or
I ended up selling it to my buddy, who's I think they're on fight number 76 now. We got it one day. We'll get
Damn.
to the fights. We'll get tickets. So,
That'd be great.
yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
absolutely. Oh, now he likes you all of a sudden.
Well, I liked him when he
Yeah.
walked in the door.
You getting back in the fight game?
No, man, I'd love to get back in the fight game. It's just a different game now. It's a lot of work though. I mean, you're 24/7. The reason being, the fighters here have to work. So you're doing.
Is UFC just too big to compete
Yeah,
with?
they're huge. UFC. I think I told you earlier. Every time I picked a date for that pay-per-view, say it was September, that weekend, Dana White would book that week to have a fight. So I mean, yeah, obviously there's a monopoly, but
Yeah, just to screw
yeah,
you out of it.
exactly.
Now, have you met Dana White? Do you know him personally?
My matchmaker was great friends with him. Gary Marino, his name was. He was great friends with him. But I didn't know Dana like that.
What's your game plan now? We have a few minutes left. You getting into bagels?
I like to get into that. I want to start a bagel, little bagel shop, little coffee shop where you can chat. Maybe chat about shit like this. Yeah. So there's where I'm at right now.
In Bucks County
Yeah,
or
here in
someplace
Bucks
else?
County. Here in Bucks County. Yeah, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
that's interesting. I
Something
like
different.
that. A little
Yeah.
entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah,
That's cool.
exactly.
Listen, he's successful in whatever he wants to do. He has a great wife. I met
Yes.
her. Good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey,
There's
hey,
no doubt in my mind, you're going to go far on whatever you want
hey.
to do.
Nick went to a fundraiser we had, and he was putting money. He was trying to win all these fucking prizes, and he won the best fucking
Right.
prize. He won a fucking gardening stool.
I thought it was a cooler full of
Uh,
alcohol. It was a damn gardening wagon
oh man.
full of gardening shit. Then I knock on my neighbor, this old Italian guy.
You want my-
Knock, knock, knock. I say, hey, Tony, I got some gardening stuff for you. He goes, what the fuck do I want to do with that?
Brand new stuff.
Brand new stuff. I
Yeah.
look like an asshole. I said, all right, sorry, Tony.
Sorry to bother
Hey,
you.
Hey, 90-year-old guy cursed me
Well,
out.
I'm
Like,
not going to start a farm, so I'll start with that
It's
little
yours.
wagon full
hey,
of
I
tools.
saw that.
It's
I saw
yours.
that
In fact,
the next week. I saw it on eBay. He was selling it on eBay.
yeah. On Facebook Marketplace.
Uh,
All right, Felix.
Felix,
Thanks,
thank you
man.
for coming on. This is another good story. In fact, I'd love to dive a little deeper into some of the cases
Yeah.
later on if we can get them back
Yeah,
on.
we'll have him back on. We'll have more
That would be
stories.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that would
Hey,
be fun.
good luck, guys.
To actually listen. Do you have any of the recordings? Did they let you keep any of the recordings?
Nope. Hey, I got.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story for next time. But I was walking to my mailbox, and I'm walking back to my car, and I see something hanging, and it had a fuse, and I had to call the bomb squad. We don't know who, we don't know.
Someone playing that
Yeah,
bomb?
someone put something underneath my car.
On a serious note, obviously you took some bad people down. How many people were taken down and arrested out of this drug?
The one guy we took down, his name was he's a lifer. His name was Ethan Rosa. He was the head guy in Vineland.
From you?
Yeah, we took him.
So are you concerned still
Yeah.
to this day about any retaliations?
No, I saw. You know what's crazy? I saw his wife one day. I was driving, and she was in front of my car, and in Spanish she says, "Tu no vas a coger tuyo hoy, pero va a coger tuyo," and that means I might not get mine today. I might not get mine today. I might get it tomorrow. I might not get it tomorrow, but I'll get mine. Right. I might not get it today.
So let me ask, whatever happened to Gilbert?
He
Gilbert?
moved to Florida.
Did he do any prison time?
Yeah, he did 10 years.
Damn.
Okay.
He did 10 years, and he moved to Florida. I think the FBI. I didn't get too much into it. I think it went as far as the drugs coming from Mexico, that area out there. So, like I said, the guy they were really after, was that guy Frenchie from New York. And they never got him. So.
French.
Yeah, his name was French.
Wow. Never got
he-
Frenchie. Slippery bastard Frenchie.
Yeah.
What was his real name, Frenchie's? Because I ran into a Frenchie, but he was from
No,
Massachusetts.
we couldn't. We didn't. I didn't know it. They would just call him Frenchie. Frenchie.
Why? Were you Frenchie?
No, I wasn't
Hey,
Frenchie,
Mike,
but I ran into a Frenchie in prison. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he got my bag.
All right, Felix. Thank you,
Take
sir.
care, guys.
This episode is sponsored by AR Law, PA State Rep Martina White, Biondo Creative, and Pops McCann Whiskey.